We have all sorts of celebrities and athletes and crazy people and social media people and influencers on the track. And we had Whistling Diesel. And first, what a smart guy. I was like, okay, I've seen this guy on the channel or whatever, and that person versus the person one-on-one, the guy's smart as shit. It's just a lot of respect for you and your industry and people that are in your industry, because it's not an easy thing. People portray themselves as goofy or redneck or this or that or whatever, and there's a business mind behind it that is just completely unique and different, and it's a marketing of things and concepts and ideas that really people want to see and hear, and that's really the brain of that individual. So they came to the track, and we had the police department there because they wanted to be there, and we were trying to tie it in to bring it to the track and to make kids safe and to stop racing on streets and doing stupid shit. So it was more of us trying to keep this guy from killing himself or killing other people and doing crazy stuff. Whenever they would propose a stunt, some of them we said no to. I mean, they wanted to put the G-Wagon in the pool. We're like, no, we're not letting you put the G-Wagon in the pool. And some of them, we were like, okay, that sounds good. Let's do it. Let's roll with it. Because, I mean, we are in a very dangerous sport, and it's a controlled environment. We had a stunt school there, so we do know a lot of things related to stunts and things of that nature from the stunt school. Bobby Orr that was with us. Bobby Orr is the guy that did all the stunts in Dukes of Hazzard. And a great guy, unbelievable will. I mean, the guy's just superb. And so we have an idea of some of that stuff, but it was underneath their COI, their certificate of insurance. And we said, you're going to have some free reign to some extent. We're not stunt experts, so we cannot really tell you yes or no, because you're going to have to make that decision. So pushing the liability to them, unless it was something egregious, such as putting a G-Wagon in the pool. So it was really a case-by-case basis. And they didn't do anything too crazy. I mean, there was a few things that were a little crazy, but nothing. I mean, I probably would have been more crazy than them. One of the things is he drove up a giant hill in the middle of the track and jumped over it and went down the hill through the sand trap. He ran through an tire wall. We basically placed a tire wall in the middle of the racetrack so they could get speed, and the tire wall had no backing behind it, which usually can create a jump because the tire wall folds and it creates a jump. So we said, here's your risks, here's what we think. It was all on video. We said, there's your tire wall, and put it out in the middle of the racetrack, and he hit it about 80 miles an hour, and it was really kind of uneventful. Hit it, and the tire wall did exactly what it was supposed to do and kind of wrapped around the car, and the car completely slowed down. We didn't want him to hit it against a wall, because then he would have impacted all his airbags and everything else. And surprisingly enough, that didn't either, which I would have thought it would, because anything above 20 usually will blow your airbags. And all in all, I mean, it was just crazy calamity. They would do wheelies through the damn parking lots, and our members were like, what in the hell is happening here? Because our members are the chair of the stock exchange and Coca-Cola heirs and billionaires, and I mean, just crazy people that aren't used to this community. But it's part of our awareness to the newer community of people that are into anything motorsports and crazy, because that's our next generation of these people that are coming through the track. So a lot of members were scratching their head, and a lot of times I was too, because I was like, we're gonna get in trouble some way, some shape or how. But it was a lot of fun, and they are a force to be reckoned with, and a bunch of absolute clowns in a good way. I think they came to us to be able to do the filming. And one of the things that we wanted to do is create a YouTube channel that is about motorsports and all things motorsports and review of cars and review of members and all these different things. And we just really don't have that face to it. They wanted me to be the person to be able to do that, but I don't love this. It's just not my thing. And I just don't think I'm as good at it as some other people can do. So that was kind of our ground zero of launching a influencer social media channel to be able to drive people to the YouTube channel, to be able to create an additional business for another revenue stream in the business of racetrack. And in the business of racetrack, outside of the real estate component, it's a horrible business. It's definitely a tough business. So we have the lead singer, AC/DC Brian, and Ron White, the comedian, come because there is a program that Brian does. It's called Cars That Rock. And first, Brian is just an incredible human. Guy's just awesome, kind, nice, funny. And then everybody knows Ron White. I mean, he's crazy. And this is before he stopped drinking and did psychedelics to get out of it, which is a whole nother story. But they're there at the track and they're doing all sorts of bits. They were there for a week. The first night they're there, so we're sitting on the deck and it's me and Ron and Brian. We're all sitting there. And in a matter of 45 minutes, they killed a bottle of tequila and they're trying to make me do shots on the deck with them. And I'm like, I'm too old to do shots, guys. I mean, I'm on my third shot. I'm just not a shot guy anymore. So we're on the deck of the conference center looking out at the racetrack and it's like 6:30. And right behind us is obviously the building and the bathrooms and the offices and everything in it. So Ron proceeds to whip his schlong out and pisses off the deck. I said, Ron, what are you doing, man? There's a bathroom right there. He's like, no, it's just, there's nobody here. There's not a lot of people here. So it's just right here. So I said, man, come on, you redneck, and go to the bathroom. The whole time as Brian kept saying, do you want me to cook you some sausages and some peppers and stuff? I mean, it was just odd and funny and weird because we have all these different eclectic groups come through. Another, we had all the Pagani owners. We had 14 Paganis there. The first one that was ever made, and then they're ridiculously, it was 14 million bucks back then. And all these people showed up. They had super gaudy clothes and flashy clothes and real, like, completely bizarre. I mean, it was a bizarre show. And there was 14 of them. And the owner was there and all these people. And so they came in and you had to have stickers over your cell phone, and none of the staff was allowed near anybody. None of my friends were allowed. We all had to stay back because you weren't allowed to talk to this demo. But it was fascinating because they completely branded the conference center. They put all the stickers, everything, and it was real high class, real cool. And they ripped around the track, you know, at like 2/10, because that's about as fast as most of them can go. Not the cars, the drivers.
If you're ready for your next adventure, you're gonna need the right car, and the best way to buy your next car is with the help of Premier Financial Services. The Simple Lease from Premier Financial is the most powerful tool in the world of exotic car financing. You get all the benefits of a traditional loan, like the ability to accumulate equity, pay it off at any time, and they give you a perfectly easy to understand amortization table, but you also get the benefits of a lease, the low payment, the flexible terms, the low down payments, but also you get to use some certain tax benefits that leases entitle you to. They've taken great care of me, and I know they'll take great care of you, so check them out now at the link in the description below.